Okay.
So bear with us. So.
Oh my God.
That should be fine though.
We
So
should
the
do.
problem is we didn't we
Okay,
didn't do
no,
all
no.
the setup, for the camera, so it should be
Okay.
like a phone.
Oh my
thing.
God. I mean, it's the first time I'm on a YouTube
But-
channel, so I'm quite new and I didn't know like live and stuff, but it's quite fun actually.
No, but this is just gonna be a normal video that
I know.
we're gonna post like
Okay.
just like a normal video and people can like watch it, whatever.
Okay.
Like Shannon, every time Shannon
Oh, yeah, she
goes
d-
live,
yeah,
like, you
she
can
does
see it
them.
after.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's the whole point. It was just to test out. But
Okay.
whatever. So we have some notes, and today we're gonna talk about INFJ versus ENFJ friendship.
Yeah.
And mostly like we're gonna like kind of compare a little bit how we evolved, as friends, and how it was like 1 year before when we met versus 1 year. It's been 1 year?
Yeah, it's been
over 1 year. Like
It's been 1 year because we met in October, let's
Yeah.
say, so
Well, yeah, it's been like
it's
4
gonna
months.
we can't take month, guys. That's how close we are.
Yeah, and 14 months, and so we're gonna see. Mainly, this video is gonna be about like the main challenges we
Yeah.
had to overcome, and how we overcome it. But there's like way more like content coming up that we're gonna film separately because
Yes.
we have a lot to say.
Yes, we do.
So
I mean-
we had like a bunch of like video ideas and stuff.
Exactly, and especially because we live together as well, so we have like fun
Yeah, that's
facts
the
and-
thing that we're gonna bring to the table is
Yeah.
basically that we can see things in somebody that like not a lot of people know about INFJs or ENFJs unless you literally live with them.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
well,
I know that INFJ are 1% of the population, and ENFJ are 3%, guys. So I mean,
I
we
think
quite
2 point something.
between 2 and 3 for ENFJ. So
Yes.
Quite,
Yeah. So what was the main challenge you would say that we had to overcome?
okay, so I mean, I would say it was interesting because as when I first met Naomi, so it was in October, we actually met at church, and I thought she was a bit quite reserved. I thought you were quite reserved actually. So she was not very talkative, and unless she was passionate about like a topic, and so she could go on and talk about it. But yeah, so the first thing was for me.
But that's what you notice after, unless I'm passionate,
Yeah, so it was maybe
You
but it
notice
was
actually you're quite extrovert.
yeah, but it was actually maybe the
beginning,
fourth time that we hung out. Like I could when we talked about some topics,
Yeah.
and I thought like you were very passionate, so she was like talkative and stuff, and I thought it was very cute. And so I'd say the first thing challenge was definitely communication. So I mean we have different ways of communicating. So at first I didn't really understand how she her feelings, because so I thought at the
Yeah,
beginning,
just be like whatever the notes, we don't care about.
yeah, I mean at first I thought you were like a bit mysterious.
Mysterious?
She was mysterious in a way, because she didn't like, you didn't talk about how you feel and your emotions and stuff. So I'm talking about the first time, so during maybe the first month or second month, so maybe until like I don't know, December or something. Like I thought but maybe that's how you protected yourself. I don't know.
And later on you realize.
And later on
that-
I realized, and now you share like your feelings and emotions, but at first and especially for us ENFJ, because we are FE, so extroverted feelings, so we have this thing where we always want to know how the person feel and emotions, and
Yeah.
so I was always trying to guess how she feels and
Yeah,
stuff,
so
and I
then-
couldn't really like I felt like I couldn't read you properly, and so I was a bit like,
Oh yeah,
I
you
didn't
told
know.
me actually that you're the only person like I can't really read you.
Yes,
You know?
exactly. That was
Like,
it was
normally
the first
you're
time.
able to read everyone.
Exactly.
But me in the beginning it was very hard, and you made like you thought I was angry when actually I was not, or you thought I was like pissed when actually I was not.
Exactly. So I didn't know how to understand you. Like at first I was like, oh my god, like for me, like in a, for example, in a situation, I could be like, okay, she seems mad or something. And actually, when I asked you about it, you were like, no, actually, I'm not mad about it. And
doing my life.
so I don't know, but it was the first. I think it was the first time I met an INFJ, definitely. So
it was a challenge, basically.
It was confusing.
We have different ways of communicating.
Yeah, exactly.
Because when you communicate, how you communicate. Remember the big argument?
Oh yeah,
the first big argument. It's like when she communicates, what you say, how you like. Okay. You like to like be black on white and be like, we need to talk about it.
Yeah, so for me, it's like I always have to have a discussion. For ENFJ, I feel like we all the same in the way. Like we need to talk about something. When there's an issue, I have an issue and I'm mad about something. Like I need to have a proper discussion. So I need to tell the person like we need to talk about this because otherwise it would stick in my head and I would be and it's just. I can't process the information actually I feel like without discuss about it. If it's a big issue for me, I definitely have to discuss with the person.
Somebody's texting.
Yeah, we have to.
Yeah, and for me, how I communicate.
And for you, it's like you quite.
I'm direct though still, but I only communicate when it's really necessary. Like
yeah, and then you process the information in your head. So I feel like when
we can talk about the emails though.
Oh yeah! Oh my god, guys!
Like when I need to say something and to communicate something, I like that's typical INFJ. You express it better if you write it down and you write it in an email. So what we did is when I was pissed about something and it ended up adding up. Like comment tu sais la goutte.
La goutte.
It's like the glass was full.
Yeah, it's like
that.
It was too much. Yeah,
it was
too
much.
You.
So then I had to write everything down, everything that I noticed, and send the bomb.
Yeah. So what she does is like when she's mad, like very mad, like when it's too much for her. So she sends.
Because usually I'm patient, but when it's too much.
I
don't say it. If a little thing bothers me, I won't say it. But if it adds up.
Yeah, you told me the other day. It's like when you see some patterns like happening often the time that bother you. So there's a point where you're gonna be like, okay, that's too much. And then what she does is like she sends an email and listing actually what she's mad about and everything.
And how you took it.
And actually, she said that's how also she expressed a feeling. So she's not, for me, I express my feeling by talking. And for Naomi, like she expressed her feeling by through writing, you know, she needs to, I feel like that's how also
But yeah, that's a little bit different than affection, showing affection. Because it's not the same as, I show affection also in this physical world, not necessarily. But maybe express myself,
like when she's I mean it's like more when you're mad and
but the thing is
like talk about
I'm on
something.
YouTube, so I also express myself.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, maybe not my feelings.
Of course, but yeah, what I mean is
feelings for her FE dominant are important. You know, for ENFJs, extroverted feeling is a dominant function. So the feelings they process. Things and judge the world and information based on how they feel about it. Whereas for us, it's a secondary function, which means that it plays a role of inspiration. So seeing how other people feel, like what everybody's thinking, blah blah, it inspires us. But we don't think that it's important to like know necessarily like personally how others are feeling. No.
Yeah, and that's why because of. We have like extroverted feelings, so yeah, we always want to understand like how everyone, and we need to like we have this thing where we need to like read the vibe of everyone. We want to know how people what people are thinking and what they are feeling at the moment, and then we have this introverted thinking, so TI. which means that after we collect the information through
It's
FE,
actually introverted intuition. So it's
no, and but we have
TI is in third place. So it's
yeah, it's third part. Yeah, but what I mean is like when we collect the information through FE, so how extroverted feelings. So when there's something happen, I'm gonna react based on my feelings and emotions.
But usually you process that with a secondary function. So
No, but
what I mean is you gather what you feel about things, and then you need some space to figure out which one is important and which one is not, and like process it. But you process it with NI.
But we do also TI, but they said, because I've done a bit of research, guys, on the ENFJ, and they said, because it's like, yes, I do, just a little bit, but they said like TI, because we have this introverted thinking as well, we process the information as well with TI, but it's less dominant for us, so that's why
TI mostly gives structure. But we're not going to go in MBTI too much. We're going to talk about experiences because we're not experts. Though,
yeah, guys.
That's why. But we said that you usually need an emotional reaction. We talked about that. You need to know if this makes me happy or if this makes me sad.
Yeah. Always wondering how
you kind of wanted to like get an emotional reaction. So when I write an angry email, the emotional reaction you're perceiving is like bad. You know, even if it's for me, it's just like stating fact. It doesn't necessarily mean I hate you or whatever, but it's just like stating the fact so you can understand how I'm think and how I'm feeling. Yeah. But she might think like, oh my god, what's happening? You know?
Why because actually, when I receive those kind of emails, it's like I just feel like I'm feeling in a way like the friendship, because I don't know, like this is an ENFJ thing. We always want to our friends to feel the best and be and so feeling the best as well. So when you feel, for me, when I receive those letters, I feel like you're sad or mad, etc. And so it just like give me some
but
pressure.
For me, I just had to let it out, because for INFJs, what we feel is not important. You know, it's not as important, or it's not stable. It shouldn't make us like, it shouldn't be the reason why we make decisions based on how we feel, you know, because feelings are temporary. So every time I'm feeling something, it's like no point saying it because it's going to change it. Sometimes she wants to know how I feel, and I'm like, I don't even know how I feel. Like, how
every time I'm like, how you feel? She's like, oh,
I don't know. Because it's not important for INFJs. Like,
and for me, it's important to express my feeling. Like, I feel like I need to, and she always know like when I'm mad, when I'm happy, because I feel like for me it's obvious. Like you can
sense. Oh, ENFJs have like a gift to sense feelings. You know, somebody's feelings. If like there are two people and the vibe, like that.
We sense the vibe.
Whereas us, we can reach kind of the same conclusion,
but through patterns,
but differently,
like details.
Because I'm noticing details and I'm noticing patterns. For example, every time she's angry, she says or like or like her voice shakes.
Oh my god, I didn't even know that, guys. Like
her voice shakes a little bit when she says and she doesn't talk much, or like she goes in a hub or like hide herself or whatever, or just goes upstairs or maybe making noise, also putting music, making noise sometimes to distract yourself from your feelings maybe. But this is like things that we notice. Like I notice automatically without even, and then I know like, oh, something's not right, but not because I feel it, but because I'm attentive to details.
Oh, nice. Okay, I didn't know. Like she was like, but and I can. That's the funny part, because I can sense that when she's like paying attention to me, like I can feel in a way that you know, watching what I'm doing or on stuff, like, because our feeling again
everything.
Exactly. So I can sense that you're observing. I don't know what you're observing and stuff, but I can sense it when you do as well. So it's like it's funny because you watch me now. I know that
typical INFJs just collect all this information, just collect all this data all around, and then they want to put it into boxes and how like know people and how people react to these things and all that. So it's important for the judgment for the moment. I collect the information and I have a good memory with it, you know. but it's unintentional, it's automatic.
Yeah.
So next challenge was first one was communication. Next challenge that we had to overcome
is we said trust.
We said trust.
Oh my god, that's a tough one.
That's a sensitive issue.
Yeah.
I mean,
okay, trust.
We can talk about like how you perceived like friendships because of the movies and all that, and how I slowly open up to people.
Yeah, so for me, I mean, I mean, from the start, like I immediately sense that we had like a different definition of friendship. I mean, friendship for me, I don't know if it's like an ENFJ type, so I wouldn't say for that, but for me, I grew up like watching those friendships movies about girlfriends, like how they hang out, and it seems like I had this, this kind of stereotype, and I felt like I had as well expectations maybe in a way, and the way also I would like act with Naomi, like for me it was like it just was showing like for me how much I value this friendship, so I would do act certain way, and for her she really like totally differently, so she's like, oh no, like because like you acting that way, but for me it doesn't necessarily means that you are adding more value to the friendship or you care for, there's her. Yeah,
so for you wanted deep profound connection, and for me I was like, you don't need to talk every day to be friends.
Exactly. Yeah, one example is like I always want to, at first I felt like I needed to share a lot of things like about like personal details and stuff, because for me I felt like the more you share about like how you feel and secrets, like when I watch those movies, like girls telling each other secrets and stuff, so I would always be like, oh, I need to tell her like
and I was
things.
like, you don't need to
and
tell
she
me
was
this.
like, no,
I don't care.
I don't care, Leila. And I was like, wait, what? Why you don't care? Like this is
like,
how I show
no,
you
like,
this.
like no. And sometimes I was even like, no, I don't want to hear this because this is not like.
She was like, no.
I want to hear about boy stuff or whatever.
And that was so weird. It was like, this is the first time also.
And for me, I looked at my mom had like a best friend for like 30 years, and like they barely talk, or like they respect each other's privacy, and they're like don't know everything about each other. And for me, like friendship was more like a thing of like I can you and I don't talk to you, we're still friends, you know.
And
that's the friends that I had. It was long.
And and in a way, I feel like this is. I mean, at first I couldn't understand that. So it was at the beginning I was like, oh my god, like why is she like our definition of friendship is so like not opposite, but I felt like in some ways I felt like, oh my god, like this is the first time I'm encountering this situation and stuff. But after I learned that actually I understand this way of thinking, and I'm actually going towards that, because I feel like in a way because I feel like this model of friendship goes better with adulthood, when you're an adult, and when you in a way like
just say you admire.
No, it's not admire. Yeah, there's no admire, but because I feel like this model is actually adults friendships. I feel like this is more like how it is. Like my model is more like I felt maybe like like young and friendships and stuff. But when you're actually an adult, we won't have the time to talk, to share maybe secrets all the times, and we won't be maybe all the time together, and so that's how I feel like it's best,
and for me I think we're deriving sometimes in the conversation. For me the main challenge was it's not the main challenge, but I don't trust people easily, I need to test them.
She tests me, okay.
test you. I don't remember exactly like
Yeah,
black and
you-
white testing you, but like unconsciously, it's done unconsciously when I just like I open up like step by step depending on like
there was like one of the big argument that we had. I don't know if you remember, but there was. I'm not gonna say it again.
no, I don't. No, you can say. I don't remember.
No, it was like no, but when you didn't like the fact that I confronted you on the fact that you didn't tell me like a secret.
Oh,
One big
Well, yeah.
secret, and the fact that
for me because I didn't trust
I
her
didn't
reaction.
I didn't
you know?
heard it from you,
Oh.
and so
So the thing is because I know that I try to forecast how people will react
Yeah.
to things. So to know if I should say this or not, if it's too much or not, if I can be open, transparent or not. And because she's FE, extroverted feeling, like I was afraid of the reaction. So that's why you don't tell everything until you know that their reaction is gonna like be what you expected and stuff, and they're not gonna.
yeah, and because she
overreact or
anticipates,
judge
you know,
and stuff.
she's like, I feel like this is an INFJ.
So I would have said when she would have been ready for it, or like, you know, like.
Yeah, that's typical INFJ. You know, that I feel like you guys tend to like
It's a way of
anticipate,
protecting the other person.
and
though.
you feel like it's protecting them because they are anticipating how you're gonna react to a situation based on how you previously reacted on the other situation.
Yeah.
So that's you guys are looking at patterns. You know that. Okay, this person is act like in a
like this
certain
in
way,
the situation. So I
and so after that you kind of say, okay, I don't think I'm gonna tell her that or trust her in that way. And I mean
I'm afraid of like people misjudging what I say or misjudging my intentions, you know. And if I want to say my intention, I'm gonna write an email like this is what my intention is, because they need to understand where I'm coming from. And then she usually understands, even if like first is like a long email and blah blah blah.
No, I
But
understand.
after you like understand other people's perspective, you know.
And that's the ENFJ also quality. We tend to be we understand others, and we can be compassionate. We have this empathy, which means
And
like
also we share the same cognitive functions, so introverted intuition and stuff like that. We share the same thing. It's just in a different order.
Yeah.
They're just switched a little bit. So like she agrees with my point of view, you know, to what extent, you know, at the end of the day.
Yeah, at the end, yeah, we just have like this sometimes arguments because we are both passionate about how when we say something, like we're very passionate.
Yeah, we
so
talked
we
about passionate, but I don't know.
yeah, I don't know if we tell it into one of the challenges. So yeah, when we have an argument, like we tend to be like very passionate about it, and and so we go until like the very end. But then after that, we recognize that okay, this is my bad or this is hers, and or we just.
Yeah.
I feel like the friendships is always at the end gonna be or is overcome those little situations.
The thing is that we always have new challenges. Like we move on what's past, you know.
Yeah.
Like we had an argument before. Like we're not gonna have the same one again because now we learned.
ENFJ, we don't like that as well.
We learn
like
quite fast
about the past.
Yeah, or like we had an argument and we understood, and then okay, we settled the house rules, and then it would be like we're not gonna have the same argument again.
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna have a different argument the next time because we learned from the mistakes or we learned how the other person is, and then I think it's gonna be because we rarely have two identical arguments, you know.
No,
now we understand.
It's rarely because again, ENFJ like can adapt. So we tend to be when you tell me like okay, I don't like this stuff or I don't like when you do that and stuff. We automatically gonna take this into account and make sure you know for the next time it's just as well how we are. So
yeah,
when we know that okay, this is our fault as well, and we should.
Okay, so the second challenge.
No, the third.
Third. Oh.
Yeah, the third challenge. Emotional attachment.
Detachment.
Okay. I mean, emotional attachment is ENFJ, totally. And emotional detachment would be INFJ.
Yeah, but the thing is, I am attached emotionally, but not to the same things as you, maybe. It's mostly with guys.
Yeah, it's just like...
It's like I'm not attached. I think I learned now the things, and I became more detached.
But I think this is again is a personality thing as well, because ENFJ, again, we always want to make sure like our friends are feeling the best, and so we are. But the the bad part is that we can be emotionally attached to our friends, our close friends. I would say not everybody, but how close friends we can be like very attached in a way that we need to know like how you feel, how you feel today, what are your emotions, how can I help you to improve like how you feel. And
the worst
question
for an INFJ is how do you feel?
Yeah, that's the worst question. I don't ask her that question since you told me. But yeah, I would always make sure like she has, if I know like she loves some tea, I don't know, like I would make tea for her, you know, I would just like, this is just like how we, yeah, but yeah, it does. So yeah, maybe it creates as well like a form of attachment, emotional.
You learned active service though, because
I learned active
service. Love language, but
yes,
you weren't before, you didn't know necessarily that it was, you were maybe thinking that gifts I feel like that, but for me like it's not necessarily gifts.
Yeah, because I mean we are more like caregiver, so yeah, I love to give gifts. I mean gifts or my time or like
we're talking about emotional attachment.
Yeah,
like in the context of like how we get attached and how well, there was a word here, this one.
jealousy.
Emotions no, we also talked about how emotions affect ENFJ's health, and you have to like learn to detach from it a little bit.
Yeah, because when we are you know, like when we, I mean, it's funny because how we process emotions sometimes, I mean for me is through physical, like I can sense my body is reacting when I'm feeling happy or when I'm feeling moody, sad, like very very sad, you know, I can sense my body is reacting as well. So I mean it's kind of I don't feel like it's a good thing actually, because I know, you know, that's how people when they are stressed they can have like contract, you know, certain disease, so I need to be careful on that. But yeah, I mean like my body's more like is reacting definitely.
The thing is, for everyone I think like when they're stressed their body knows it, but for you I think it's maybe more obvious, or you like feel it more permanent, because like if I can't sleep at night, like, you know what I mean, the body can't sleep at night because you're stressed, like this is the case for everyone. But when do you think like I let go of my stress, like my emotions more easily, because I like express, it's not affecting my health that much because like I let it out in a way, like I express it.
Yeah, I mean, when you say express, like what types of emotion are you talking about? When you're sad, when you're stressed?
Like the stress can make you overthink, and then I let go of the overthinking.
Yeah, it's like I've seen that you like, she can be, you have those burnout moments. So when you're too stressed, you there's a moment where you can be, I can sense that you're very like, you can be like, you need to be alone, like you need to be alone, like when you have those burnout moments, like you need to recharge. It's like you have to take your time. That's when you actually ask me to leave you, maybe give you some space so that you can do your own things, and then you recharge, and then you come back to me. That's how I feel like that's how you process.
So stereotypical.
Yeah, that's how I've seen you process.
Though, especially now that I'm working full time.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm in like a social environment, like 8 hours a day, and then obviously when I come home, I just like, everybody shut up, you know.
Yeah, just like give me some space.
Like Stop talking.
And because yeah,
I need quiet time because I worked 8 hours with somebody talking and noisy and blah, you know. Whereas for you, it's the opposite. You spend the time alone, and then when I come home, oh, let's chat. You
yeah,
know?
exactly. So I need to chat. I need to, hey, how are you doing? Like, what is it?
Yeah.
Ah,
But like
that was-
sometimes I just needed like maybe a few minutes cooking alone and stuff like that. And
yeah,
I tell
and then you
everything about
okay,
it.
yeah, of course. It's just like I need to give you like some proper space, and then she's like, okay, hi, yeah, this is what I've done today and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, so yeah, I think yeah, that's how we jealousy, jealousy. In what way would you say? What would you say?
No,
Like,
but it's the same as emotional attachments because jealousy always comes with emotional attachments because you're attached to like the person, you want to keep it for yourself and stuff, and you, well, we don't need to talk
yeah, I mean, it's just like no, it's just like again, I feel like maybe that's me. I don't know if it's all ENFJ that are the same and stuff, but yeah, I mean, for my close friendships, and that's again because I've seen those stereotypes about like close friendships and stuff. So I always have this sense of, oh, it's a you. I want her to hang out the most like with me. It feels like because I'm like you are. I mean, we are stuff and.
Whereas for me, it's like draining. Maybe.
Yeah, and for her, she doesn't care. She can be with alone and stuff. And for me, no, it's not necessarily like.
I find like most inspiration if I'm alone, or most creativity, or most like myself and stuff like that. Yeah, it's like when I'm with people, I'm too focused on people that I can't focus on myself, and then I feel like, where am I? You know, where is the real me?
Oh yeah, she always need to like.
I'm focusing on people
centered.
When
that's why
we're in the group. Sometimes.
And that's how when I say I feel like sometimes INFJ can be self-centered. It's not necessarily in a bad way, and doesn't mean like you are selfish and stuff. But it's just like yeah, you need to kind of have this inner garden for yourself. Yeah, inner world. So when you feel like someone is too in your inner world, you need to say, okay, so give me some space and let me figure it out, like really get recharged and be in my inner garden. And
the thing is, all the videos on YouTube say the opposite though.
For INFJ.
Yeah, they I mean, yeah, obviously the introvert side is like you need your garden, which is every introvert, but they all say that INFJs like can absorb other people's feelings and stuff like that. And
so you feel like,
for example, when we have guests, we had guests and stuff, I'm gonna focus on the person who feels the most alone, you know, like the socially awkward one, or like the thing, and like I forget about the rest because they don't need my help, and I focus on the ones who need my help and stuff in the sense. But I focus like 100%, either I focus 100% on somebody or on the social harmony, but
yeah, that's the difference.
The time alone is like all introverts need it in the inner garden, but that's what like everybody said. That's the stereotypical thing about like INFJs. But the thing is, I didn't notice that much that because I'm living with you, so I kind of have my dose of social, you know, caring. But maybe if I lived alone and I had a partner, like I would be 100% on them, maybe, you know, and like nurturing and stuff like that. Or on a friend.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of the difference between again ENFJ and INFJ and how they act, you know, around a group of people. I feel like for INFJ, you kind of like read the room and you see the person that would need your help, and then you would focus 100% on that person. And for us, like ENFJ, we read as well the room, maybe in a different way, because I feel like you focus on the details, and me, I'm gonna focus about the vibe. So with more, I would see if this is I enjoy the group, like I feel like there's a good vibe and stuff, so I will feel good and
for example, we had when we had guests at home, remember you were like detecting the vibe and like I feel
I'm
the vibe
very
of this
into like the
person and I'm
vibe.
not gonna invite her again.
Exactly,
Because
I'm very much into
I'm in the
vibes.
vibe, and I'm like, and she was like, oh, you didn't even talk to those people. But for me, it's like I didn't talk to them because they already had help. You know, you already had other people like talking in a
But
group
for
with
us,
you.
yeah, but for
So I
us,
didn't focus at all on some people. You know.
yeah, but
We
for
didn't
us,
need
so we read the room in terms of vibe, and we would like talk to a lot of people at the same time, so we would make sure that everybody we it's how we don't focus on one person, but it's the group, the whole group, that so we will talk a bit with that person, a bit with that person, and just make sure that everybody is kind of okay, great, and feeling great, because that's something we don't like when someone is apart. Oh my god, I hate that when we have a group of people and there's someone who I feel like is kind of alone on something. I need to go to that person as well, but it's just the whole group as well, and I just want to serve and make sure everybody is okay.
Yeah, so that was the 4 things that we came up with, like that made challenges that we had to overcome. Did we overcome them?
Yeah, I feel like most of it, and I feel like with time as well, like because we're learning more about the other and stuff. So
wait, somebody.
Oh, you have
asked
like
a question.
message.
I didn't
Oh
even
yeah,
see
okay.
It. I don't know
Go
how
ahead.
to use. I don't know how to use the chat.
Do you have to go in the
live chat? Hello, I thought INFJ was introvert and ENFJ was extrovert. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I see these are not full definitions. The thing is, the dominant function. Okay.
Okay, like go on with the
you,
MBTI.
How can I say that? It's just when people say introvert, extrovert.
It's just the way we process the information, which is different.
For example,
but it doesn't mean
It doesn't mean you're social.
It doesn't mean I'm outgoing and stuff, and actually I'm not very much. So I'm feeling I'm not the person who's going out all the time and was very going to parties and stuff. Like, that's not me at all, but necessarily. But it's the way I process the information. I need to. Mine is based on
feelings,
external feelings. So I will show
external.
So I will. That's why you can read me.
Exactly,
and so that's why you can read me easily, because I show my emotions.
So there are 4 cognitive functions that are dominant and 4 that are unconscious, not dominant.
Called the shadows.
Basically. Yeah, the shadow function. So 8 in total, and the order of it determines like your personality type and how you perceive things. And like if your main function external, extroverted, is showing on the outside, there you're gonna be overall judged as like extrovert, And if your dominant function is internalized, then you're gonna be an introvert. But we both have like introverted functions and extroverted functions, because she thinks in an introverted way, but expresses her feelings in her extroverted way. So all of us have 2 introverted functions and 2 extroverted functions either way. So it's like a balance, but I still feel like you can kind of sense if somebody's main function is introverted or extroverted, because for example, me, I have a lot of internal hobbies, like I have a lot of like things to do in my inner world.
And it just means also how I collect the information. So for me, I collect the information mainly through on the outside world and through my emotions. So I will react based on how I feel, and I would even like remember situation in the past based on how I feel, because it just created an emotional reaction for me, and so that's how I remember some details. I remember that's funny, because I don't remember anything, but I would remember what
things that triggered an emotion.
Exactly, the things that triggered an emotion about me.
And for INFJ's introverted intuition, like I gather patterns and facts, and that's how that's the main function or whatever. I'm getting lost. There was another question though. Negative.
Oops. Okay.
It's only recently that we started making like more self-development and INFJ things and like personality type things, or even very recently that I shared like open my like worldview or faith and stuff like that. But this is gonna be like a stable journey because this is who I am, you know, and we're gonna have more
videos about
MBTI videos as well because we have a bunch of ideas here, but it's gonna be videos and all
and
live streams
as well. We should do small, like,
there's like a bunch of things to do, but like it has to be organized. So this
We
one
need
was
to
main
organize.
challenges, and it was like 4 main challenges, but there are a bunch of others and a
and
bunch of experiences we have, like because we learned a lot.
and you know, with time, like we grow as well, and we understand better the other, so we know, and we so that we don't take it personally as well on stuff, because we know, like, for instance, some stuff that
we're gonna
I
have a video
understood,
about
she-
complimentary, like 'cause when one person takes it personally, like the other person will like try to show her where.
But
they
I feel like
differ.
at the end of the day, if you guys have are INFJ and have ENFJ friends and stuff, I feel like it's I feel like it's the best. But because in a way, even though like it's very passionate when you're gonna be
angry
and
Arguments are
stuff,
very passionate.
but I feel like I would prefer having someone whose view as a point of view and opinion is kind of different than mine, to having someone like with like me.
We're
I wouldn't-
complementary
We're complementary,
So-
INFJ and ENFJ. So that's why at the end,
and the same at the same time.
yeah,
We're the same but different, so it's gonna
the
be
outcome is always the same. In a
outcome is the
way.
same, but
In
the way we
conclusion, yeah.
arrive to the outcome is different.
Different,
you know.
so-
So in that sense, we can be complementary, and we're gonna do a video about that too.
Yeah.
So hope you like this live stream. It was the first live stream
Yay.
test, and I still don't know how to connect my camera to my computer, but we're gonna see maybe
we'll
next
see
time.
how-
So I don't know how to end this, but
I don't know as well.
thanks for watching.
Thank you, guys.
and bye.
Bye.
We can do a thumbnail.
Give it to them.
And